but this is truly a major milestone in the life of this college, and we are thrilled that all of you are here, and so many of you can play such a big role in this, and we're very grateful to you for that. Today we dedicate the agency, a venture that at once breaks new ground and builds on a long-standing tradition at this college. In many respects, the genesis of the agency goes back more than 85 years. It was 1928 when WRUF AM radio went on the air from the University of Florida. Thanks to my predecessors, and particularly Ralph Lowenstein. Thanks to them, it would be joined by 6 media properties, all dedicated to giving our students hands-on learning opportunities with live audiences and live news, and working side by side with industry professionals. While only a handful of journalism and communications schools can say they have given their students this degree of practical immersion, for more than 9 decades it has been our value proposition to students. But not all of our students. That's because there was nothing giving our advertising and public relations majors the same level of practical professional experience on campus. Now there is. We are starting with 57 of our best and brightest students. And they are truly amazing. The plan is to reinvest every dollar we make back into the agency so that we can hire more professionals who will enable us to involve more students. We had 275 students apply for these positions. Eventually, I want us to be able to promise every student of this college that they can have a fully immersive professional experience before graduating if they want it. We will need your help to realize that promise. We will need more pros and eventually more space. Today, though, we are thrilled with what we have to start. We'll be conducting tours after this ceremony, and you'll see a modern, sophisticated venue that sets the stage for a cutting-edge operation. And we think it may be the only one of its kind in the nation. This venue was made possible in large part by some very special donors who are here today. Pete Barr Sr. and Richard McGinnis, both graduates of this college who went on to build extraordinarily successful careers, have long believed that our advertising and public relations students should be exposed to integrated learning, because that's what they'll experience when they go out into the professional world. Both Pete and Richard were among the first people to hear about our fledgling plans for an integrated communications agency, and they were the first to step up to the plate in significant financial support. I'd like to call on them now to say a few words, starting with Pete Barr Sr. Please give him your thanks.
Thank you very much. It all started about 15 years ago, and I was such a pain in the ass trying to push this whole idea. So it's a big day. Tickled to death to be here. I give a lot of credit to Dean McFarland for what she did to make this all happen. It's also a pleasure to get back with a guy I haven't seen for 60 years. As he and I met, what was a temporary building right on this site for a long time. But it's good to be here, good to be with you all. We'll all celebrate together. It's been a long time. This place comes together, makes a lot of professionals out of all of you all as we go ahead. Thank you.
And now we'll hear from his classmate, Richard McGinnis, and I want to also recognize Shirley McGinnis, who's sitting here in the front. Shirley, thanks so much for your support too.
Well, I didn't get out of here until 58, and nothing was the same then as it is now, or vice versa. I can tell you that I'm flattered to be from this journalism communication school, and I'm proud to be in the advertising section of that school. And looking over their plans and talking about some of the journeys that they're getting ready to endure, I discovered that there was a lack. How do you convince a client that you can sell the mousetrap better than he's been selling? And he needs a good agency, creative work. And I looked it over tightly and figured out there wasn't a whole lot of bucks in it for research and development. Now it's in there, but you know, you got script writers and you got people that are doing everything. So I've decided as a surprise to the game, and she's been on me a little bit lately, I'm going to fund a new setup just for research and development. And everything else will have to work around that as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you so much. You continue to be such a great supporter of this college. We're so appreciative of that. Thank you. Next, I want to recognize my good friend, Amy Burdina. Amy is a public relations graduate of this college and still serves on the Public Relations Advisory Council. She was one of the earliest consultants on this project. She too started her own successful public relations firm in Fort Myers, and she knows what goes into a startup operation. So we had conversations on this soon after I became dean, and I'm so grateful for her support. Amy, would you like to say anything?
Said I'm a member of the PR Advisory Council, and I think I can speak on behalf of all the members at how exciting this is and how quickly and how brilliantly the idea of the agency has come to fruition. It is, I think, a great testament to the leadership of the college, to the faculty, to how dedicated the faculty are to this, and to our incredible students, which is why we're all here. And just call on everyone to help and to support this in any way you can, because I think it's the most exciting thing that's happened in years, and it's going to be great for our university and our college. Thank you.
Now, another classmate of Amy's and mine, Dawn Weimer is another early supporter of this. Dawn herself launched her own marketing research company, very successful national firm. And after she handed it over to her successor, she actually taught at Loyola. And so she has a full appreciation for the importance of clinical practice. And when we talked about this idea, she wanted to support us and has been a great supporter, both financially and as a consultant. Dawn, we're very grateful to you. Would you like to say anything?
Hi everyone, it's wonderful to be here today to be part of this ribbon cutting and the official grand opening of the agency. It's certainly an exciting and historic time for the college. And thank you to Andy for everything you've done to make it a reality. And thanks to Dean McFarland for your vision and support of this exciting new venture for the school. The building that we're in right now and all the high-tech classrooms is quite a contrast to when I was here, and all of our classes were in the bowels of the football stadium. So it's exciting to see the building and everything that's happening. I know that the agency is going to provide many advertising and PR students with an unprecedented opportunity to gain real-world experience working with actual clients. This is something students cannot just put on their resumes when they graduate, but the experience will give them a competitive edge when job hunting in the extremely competitive field of advertising and public relations. Congratulations, and thanks to everyone involved in making this a reality for the college.
Again, to our wonderful donors, and not only for your financial support, but for your spiritual support too. I've gotten a lot of encouragement from these schools, so thank you again. Like WRUF and its successors, the agency is not one person's vision. It is a collective vision involving faculty, students, and alumni. I especially want to recognize the Advertising and Public Relations Advisory Councils who helped us give birth to the notion and nurture the agency through its infancy, as well as the faculty and staff who have played key roles. And with apologies to them, We can't name them all, but you know who you are and all the contributions you've made to this effort from the very beginning. We would not be here today if it weren't for you. Perhaps the most important step in organizing the agency was the selection of its first executive director. We assembled a search committee that included executives of top national agencies, as well as faculty and students. We wanted someone with high-level experience, a robust professional network, an appreciation for our educational mission, and an understanding of what it means to be a startup. We received interest from across the country, but there was one person who stood out. Andy Hobson has played key leadership roles at several nationally known agencies, including Burson Marsteller, Publicis, and Ogilvy, representing such companies as Nestle, Smuckers, Southwest Airlines, and Westin Hotels. He served as president and COO of the Evans Group and Publicis Dialogue. And now he is working with our students, faculty, and staff to build something that is truly exceptional. And he is truly exceptional. Andy Hobson.
Gracious comments. And thanks also to our generous donors for your support, for your financial support, for being there for us, for your advice along the way. I've had conversations with you each along the way as we've been building this agency, physically building it for the past 6-7 months, and your input has been duly noted, and I hope that you see that the agency exists largely because of a lot of your input. So thank you for that. We are gathered here today to officially launch the agency, to pay tribute to those who helped us get to this point, and to show off our shiny new offices. First, I'd like to make a few acknowledgments to some very important people. Thanks to my life's partner and wife, Lisa, who said yes when I suggested that we move from Chicago to Gainesville. Thank you to Dean Diane McFarland. Your vision has been the motivator behind the agency. You've been the catalyst to moving things forward. And I am quite certain that the future success of the agency will become a cornerstone of your legacy as the Dean of the College of Journalism and Communications. Thanks to Assistant Dean Spiro Cusis and the kitchen cabinet, whose solid advice and service as a sounding board along the way has been very important. Thanks to the department chairs, Tom Kelleher and Juan Carlos Moida, for your advice and guidance, and to the student advisors and your inaugural staff that stands around me today. Thanks to Kimberly Bastoni, our interim director of research. Thanks to our inaugural clients, Florida Department of Citrus, Experiencias Escoret, the Institute for Public Relations, and numerous departments within the college, including Aerospace Engineering, Health Science Center, and the International Center. And thank you to everyone behind the construction of this great space. Thank you to Jason Manili, the brilliant interior designer. Thank you to Foresight Construction, particularly Matt Searle and Steve Smith, who were here. Steve, I think, has worked every weekend for the past several months as the foreman of the project, determined that we were going to be ready for today, and we were, even though there was work going on still this morning. Thank you to Randy Wright, our director of media properties, who served as the project manager of this project for the college so that I could concentrate on building the agency. And thank you to his tag team and to the U.S. Department of Planning, Design, and Construction. So for the past several months, those of you who have been following us on social media have seen the hashtag Building the Agency. We are quite literally building not an agency, but the agency. We feel so confident that we are going to build a famous agency that we just claimed the name, the agency. That's what we are. We're the agency. We're going to become internationally known and recognized for our expertise marketing to millennials. Now this expertise is going to be fueled by a Millennium Research Corps, the MRC. The MRC will include a community of 1,000 to 2,000 at the start, millennials demographically, geographically representative. We'll survey them, we'll study their purchase behavior, test concepts against them, ideas, new products, and this will be a service that's available to marketers and advertisers interested in knowing more about this very complex millennial generation. In doing this, we'll create a revenue stream, we'll create thought leadership as those that aren't just reciting what other people have said about millennials, but will be the source of information about millennials. And most importantly, we will be known for our ability to develop informed and inspired campaigns based on this foundation of knowledge. We're going to have this millennial community up and running and operable by May. And we're doing this with the help of a strategic partner, CNR Research. I think they're with us today. We're having our start-off meeting with them this afternoon. And by May, we're going to have 1,000 to 2,000 millennials within this community. They'll be engaged through a website, through social media, through a Facebook page. They'll be incentivized to participate, and they will again become the foundation of what we're building. Now, the real purpose of the agency, of course, is to be successful, but most importantly, to create immersive learning opportunities for students. These 57 students standing behind me should feel quite honored, because as the dean said, we had nearly 300 applicants, and we selected the best and brightest, and there were many, many very qualified students that we just felt that we couldn't take on at this time. In the future, we hope to have 100 to 200 student staff. This is the inaugural team. The agency, the structure of the agency is inspired by an agency called Golan that's owned by a holding company called Interpublic Group. We met with the CEO of Golan early on, I think last summer, Fred Cook, who incidentally was a neighbor of mine in Chicago. But he shared with us this structure that breaks down the walls between disciplines, because we wanted to create an integrated environment. We want these students to understand all of the marketing disciplines and how they can be applied to build brand loyalty. Not just advertising, not just public relations, but how does one work with the other? And so we created this unique structure that we think is going to be a real key to our future success. This experience of working in a collaborative, integrated environment is going to give these students a leg up when they go out and interview for jobs, and that's our ultimate objective. There's one young gentleman among this group who, if it hadn't been for him, I don't think that I would be here today. It's been, at sometimes, an overwhelming task. I'll tell you that Thanksgiving weekend when I took home 300 resumes and stared at them and thought, how am I going to go through these? And I felt such a burden of responsibility, because what if I overlooked somebody? Because if I got glazy-eyed or something, and what if I didn't recognize a real talent and they didn't get the opportunity? And so I spent much of Thanksgiving weekend going through them. When I'd get tired, I'd set them aside, I'd go through them again, I wrote notes, and then I selected what I thought were the top ones, and I sent them to my assistant, Ryan Weimer. Them twice. He pushed back on some of my choices, and I listened to him. And then together with the 12 student advisors, we selected the 57 who stand before you today. So it's with great honor that I turn the mic over to Ryan to give you his perspective of why the agency is important for students.
I wanted to start off by thanking a few people before I begin. So to the advisory councils, thank you always for being willing to lend a hand and listen and jump on Skype calls. Thank you to all the students who keep me on my toes by being so great. I'm blessed to be surrounded by so many strong peers. And thank you all to everyone who came today to join us for this momentous occasion. It's something we've been working up to since July, and it's so exciting to finally be here. To the Dean, thank you so much for being a constant source of support for every student in this college. We've had the complete and full support of the Dean from day one, and every single day since then we couldn't have done without her. To Andy, thank you so much for everything you've done for us. I think I can speak for all of the students when I say that you've embodied what leadership should look like to all of us. Your passion and energy is as infectious as your laugh, and I am proud to call you a mentor and even prouder to call you a friend. So what does the agency mean to me as a student? Well, it means that your first business trip may be in Mexico, and you may have a chance to represent the orange juice you grew up drinking, and your campaigns may be visible, and you may have an opportunity to sit and look eye to eye with an executive at a table and speak on even terms as a college student, and you can have that respect because you've earned it as part of the agency. And so all of that and much more is what we're going to be able to offer to students. It means that we're going to be able to go in to our first job interview and talk about the proposals we've written and the clients we've worked for and where we've had our pieces published, what we've done, and we'll have that advantage in the job market, which I'm not complaining, I'll take any help I can get there. But that's something that we're going to be able to bring in, and the college has made it a priority up until this point to kind of try to bridge the industry and the classroom. But with the agency, they're actually taking the classroom and putting it out in the industry and letting us figure it out for ourselves with the help of Andy and Kim. And so that is a huge step forward for us because it's giving us the opportunity to really, learn trial by fire, which has been such a blessed opportunity for us all. And it's not just an opportunity for the students, it's also an opportunity for our clients and the people who have the opportunity to work with the agency. I don't ever want a client to look at the agency as an opportunity for charity. When they invest in us, they're also investing in themselves and the futures of their companies. The millennials are a tricky bunch. We're really hard to pin down. Half the time, I don't even know what we're going to do next, and I'm one of them. But they are going to lead us into the future. And with the resources of the college and the resources of the faculty and staff here and the resources of the agency, we'll be able to let you know what they're going to do every step of the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andy. So as you can see, we have a big vision. We have a solid business plan. We have wonderful supporters. How can we lose? And we are so confident of the success of this venture that we're actually entombing a time capsule in the rafters of the agency. We are going to be putting in letters, mementos of this occasion, and we invite all of you to sign the big sheet we have on the table, and please be a part of this. We will be opening it in about 35 years, is that the plan? 30 years? So there will be tours after this. Just go out this way and you will see our student tour guides. They will be available to take you through. And then we invite you back here at noon for lunch. So I hope you'll be able to join us for that as well. So what a great day to be an advertising or public relations student at this college. And what a great day to be a supporter of the University of Florida College of Journalism and Communications. And what a great day to be a Florida Gator.